Today, we're going to talk about private browsing. And yeah, I know, Chrome and Internet Explorer and Firefox all have this private browsing feature that you can turn on and surf the internet wherever you want without anybody knowing where you were at, which works great, except for the fact that you can't save your cookies, your bookmarks, your filled forms. Basically, once you close it, everything you did is gone, which is the whole point of the private browsing. But wouldn't it be nice to have private browsing plus all your history, form filled fields, your cache, your cookie? Is basically like using the browser like you normally would, but it's private. And that's why I called this episode Taking Private Browsing to the Next Level. We're not actually, this is just basically stopping people from snooping on you. This won't hide all your DNS lookups and stuff that people can get to your computer and type in and look up your log. No, this just stops your mom, your sister, friend, relative, whoever's using your computer from them stumbling upon something you don't want them to stumble upon. So what we're going to do is combine two great programs. We're going to combine Truecrypt and we're going to install Portable Firefox. Now we're not going to go into too much detail of each. We're going to assume you know what each one is, and we're just going to kind of combine them together. First, we're going to get Truecrypt. And for that, we're going to go to truecrypt.org. It's a free program which allows you to do encryption. Now, a lot of you guys know it as whole drive encryption, but it also lets you create encrypted containers. And that's what we're going for today. So we're going to go ahead and download it and run it. There we go. Wrong one. Okay, accept. Next. Okay, for all users, icon, create, restore point, all looks good. So we're going to go ahead and create a Truecrypt container that can be saved on the hard drive or actually moved to a removable disk, like a removable hard drive or a little thumbstick. And it's very simple and very effective, actually. Successfully installed. We'll say, do you want to use it? No, we don't want to use it. Okay. So let's go ahead and create our Truecrypt container. Here's Truecrypt. And we're going to go in here and let's see, where is it at? Tools. Okay. We're going to create a new volume. Okay. And it's going to be a new Truecrypt encrypted file container. It's just going to be one little file. We're not encrypting your whole hard drive. Just a teeny little file. Well, okay, we're going to go ahead and say standard Truecrypt volume. The file location. Well, for now, let's go ahead and just save it to the desktop. We can move this wherever we want. It's not permanent. So let's go ahead and just call it browser. Well, actually, let's take the browser off. We're just going to save it to the desktop. Now, as far as never save history, this means that once you mount the drive, the location where it's stored disappears. Now, that's great if you want to hide the location. But if you want to be able to just browse the internet and just be able to open Truecrypt and then just click the mount button, having it remember where it was the last time you opened it up, then you'd want to uncheck that box. So we'll uncheck it. Next. We'll leave all this the same. Next. Volume and size. You know, I would say thumbsticks are cheap, and to give you a lot of room to have a lot of cache for your browsing, I would say 4 gigs is a sweet spot. Honestly, that's what I'd use. And it's saying on the drive you have 24 gig. This is a virtual machine, so there's a 24 gigabyte virtual drive. So we'll go ahead and say next. Password. Well, when you make a password, you can make it as long as you want, but avoid words that are in the dictionary. In this case, we're just going to type in my password and hit next. Warning, short passwords. Well, this one is short. It's like 8 characters long. But we're trying to keep out the average Joe, not really a hacker. So we recommend choosing a password. Are you sure you want to use the short password? Sure, whatever. And we can create it as NTFS. We're going to go ahead and leave that the same and go ahead and format it. Say Truecrypt will not encrypt the file, but it will delete it. Yes. Oh, failed to create. How sad. Okay, let's go back here. We'll go ahead and call it browser. Let's go forward here. Yes. Okay, NTFS format. Yeah, I guess the slash was the actual container itself, which actually has no file extension. That's why I got kind of confused there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and it's going to format it. So while that's doing whatever it's doing, it's going to go ahead and format it. Let's go ahead and download Portable Firefox. Now, Portable Firefox is kind of cool. It requires no installation and can just be ran from anything. Like, you can put it on a USB drive, and that's great without using Truecrypt. But if somebody grabbed your drive, slapped it at the machine, ran Firefox, they would see your entire history. Truecrypt is a way to prevent that. So let's go ahead and go to Portable Apps. I think it's .com. And we're going to go ahead and do a search for Firefox. What's great too is it actually updates the version of Firefox on the stick too. So you don't have to, it just updates it on the spot. So Portable Edition. Download. And I hope to God this is a zip file because I don't have a RAR extractor here. Oh, it's an exe. Okay. So basically it's a self-extracting exe that when you open it up, it says, hey, where do you want to save it to? Okay, so right now it's downloading. We'll go ahead and let it do its thing while our container is doing its thing. Okay, it's almost done formatting. Okay. Yes. Okay, it's been successfully created. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and exit. And we're going to go ahead and open Truecrypt back up. And see where it says select file? We're going to go ahead and say never save history. Uncheck that box. Select a file. Now at this point, you would move it wherever you want to keep it. In this case, for our demonstration purposes, we're going to keep it on the desktop. So open browser and hit mount. It's going to say, oops, got to choose the driver letter. I'd say E. Enter your password. So we're going to say, okay, hit open. Now it mounts on drive E. So let's go ahead and open drive E. It just looks like a standard drive. And it's so cool because everything you put in there is contained in this one little file that you can move wherever you want. So let's go ahead and see if our download's coming along. And I'd say 4 gigs because you can go out and buy a cheap $10 4 gigabyte thumbstick or a USB key, whatever you want to call them. So this thing's almost done. And the great thing is too, it actually contains all your plugins, / add-ons. It's really neat. So okay, so now it's done. And actually when it says it wants to go ahead and extract it, we're just going to say, hey, drive E works for me. So we're going to hit next. And the destination folder, we're going to say do not put it inside a folder. We're just going to go ahead and put it on the root of drive E and install. Okay, I guess it wants a folder. Firefox. Okay, finished. What I would do is then go into Firefox on drive E and just kind of move it out of there. Say I want it on the root. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and close Firefox. Okay, so here is our portable Firefox. And we're going to go ahead and run it. So it's going to be a first time run now. What we're going to do here is go ahead and install some add-ons. We're going to go ahead and install AdBlock. We're only going to install, or just one, just to kind of show you how it works, or the fact that it's contained. So AdBlock, restart. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and just, I don't know, let's just say, for instance, we go to, newin.net. Okay, so if you go under history, well, let's go ahead and add newin.net to our bookmarks. And there it is. History, show all history. And we've only gone to one site today, but there's newin.net. So now let's say we're done. Let's go ahead and exit the browser. Quit. And Truecrypt, if you can't find it, or if you close the box, it's always running down here next to the clock. Open it up, dismount. Now if we open Firefox from the desktop, and the one that's actually installed in the machine, you will notice that we have a bunch more add-ons. You know, bookmarks, obviously. We don't have newin.net here because it wasn't the one we were using. And if we go into bookmarks under history, show all history, that's our history from the one on the machine. So now let's say a new day has come and we want to go to our secret little web browser. We'll open Truecrypt. Now, see how it defaults to the path of the file? If never saved history was checked, you'd have to browse for the file each time. If you want to, that's cool. If not, I just leave it the way it is. So we're going to go ahead and hit Mount, Drive E. Now, I'll show you one thing I would also do. Is I would go into Drive E and make a shortcut to this file and put it wherever, like a little drop-down menu or a key combination or something. That when we dismount it, you'll notice somebody who would stumble upon it would be like, okay, well, I guess that doesn't work. But once you mount the drive, it then becomes live, assuming you mount the same drive every time. And there we go. Here we have newin.net. We have our add-on. We have everything we're searching for. And so, yeah, you can throw it on a thumbstick and take it with you. Now, mind you, I wouldn't go plugging it into a bunch of random machines because, you'll probably get infected pretty quick. So I would use it on your own machine. If you want to keep it on your machine, great. Just put it in a folder. Otherwise, throw it in a thumbstick and just put it in your pocket. And then your entire browsing history using Portable Firefox is contained on that thumbstick. And yes, this is only stopping snoopers. I mean, the ISP can still see what you're doing. It's not going to stop that. It's not going to stop people browsing your DNS records. No, just snoopers. But yes, combining Truecrypt and Portable Firefox takes portable browsing to the next level. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope it helps some of you guys out there. And it's just kind of a fun little thing to try. Thanks.